My now ex-girlfriend gave me the "it's not you, it's me" excuse. My response? George Costanza's word-for-word reply. Reddit. What are some funny breakup stories you have? A girl I knew in high school had her boyfriend of 3 years break up with her and start going out with her best friend. His reason? Because her friend had a mechanical arm and he thought it was cool. I kid you not. Legitimate reason. I dump a girl for a cyborg girl. My first boyfriend and I went out for 2 months when we were both 15. No great love, but we lost our virginities to each other. Anyway, I was planning on dumping him and made a date to hang out. I go to his apartment. His mum tells me he went to band practice. I call a couple of times, get no answer, send a pissy text, go home. He later logs onto MSN chat and we talk for a bit. I think frick it, I can't break up online. Face to face it must be, and try to make another date. He then proceeds to dump me on MSN chat. I have never felt so robbed in my life. I think he saw it coming and preempted your breakup. I found out my girlfriend of 5 years and the guitar player of my band had been spending a little extra time on the side. Without saying anything about what I knew, I told her we needed to take a break. A week later we played a show with a ton of our friends from high school in the crowd, including her. So I decided to dedicate our song Friends with Benefits to the both of them and called them out for fricking right as we started the song. She beelined for the door immediately. It felt amazing. Haha, your guitarist must have felt so crappy having to play through that. Well done. My friend found out his girlfriend was cheating on him right before their anniversary. So he wrapped up a duffel bag in a gift box and gave it to her. When she opened it he said, "Put all your crap in that and get the frick out of here," or something to that effect. We all got a good laugh, but it was a seriously dysfunctional relationship. I'm surprised a breakup story involving a duffel bag didn't end with a murder-suicide, but props to the dude for being awesome. I once got broken up with via text. More specifically, my boyfriend sent a text message to the girl he wanted to frick, telling her to text me telling me I was dumped and he didn't have enough credit to text me. Dodge a bullet there, girlfriend. I was with a guy for 3 years. I had to move to a nearby city for a job, but we tried to maintain a semi-long distance relationship. One weekend he comes to visit me. I had a bad cold, but we still had sex. Sex with that guy was pretty amazing. The next day he broke up with me out of the blue. Wouldn't tell me why or what was wrong. I stayed friends with him, and a few months later he asked, "So, who's Matt?" I had no idea what he was talking about. Turns out, during sex I was moaning, oh man, but due to my head cold it came out as oh Matt. Obviously we had some deeper issues, like lack of communication and trust. We did stay friends for a few years after this happened, and the running joke was, I'm going to go hang out with my buddy Matt now. The wife of a friend set me up with a very cute girl who was just too young for me, 10 years an age gap. Even though she was lovely, she never got any of my references. So after a couple of weeks I was able to give her the bogot speech from Casablanca with minor tweaks. And she thought it was one of the best things anybody had ever said to her. If only I'd had someone to walk away with. That could have been the start of a beautiful friendship. I had a boyfriend all throughout high school. He was so respectful and totally understood that I wasn't ready to do anything past a casual makeout. He never pressured me for anything physical. He was in theater with me, really funny, and generally dressed well. I thought I'd hit the jackpot. We went to separate colleges and mine started a week before his. The first week I told my new roommates I had a boyfriend and it would be long distance for a little bit. They thought it was so romantic that we were staying together. The day his parents dropped him off at school, he called. I was ready to hear all about the move-in. Instead, he broke up with me, but it didn't go how I thought it would. Thanks so much, little duck, for all these years. I wouldn't have made it through high school without you. Seriously. I'm so glad we're free to date other people now. I need your dorm address so I can send you some stuff of yours and some flowers I got you. I will never forget your kindness. What? Why are you breaking up with me? Hysterical crying. Haha, good one. I hope we both meet great guys. Bye. Then it hit me. He was gay. Everyone knew but me. I didn't date again until nearly the end of college, and I made sure he wanted to sleep with me. TL. DR. I was unwittingly a beard for 4 years. My girlfriend called me up and said, I'm just calling to inform you that your services will no longer be needed. She was a pretty classy broad like that. You should have told her that her vibrator won't ever actually love her. When she was moving out, she thought it would be okay to leave a bunch of her stuff just sitting on the curb while she made a trip to her new place with a colour of stuff. The guys must have had a pickup truck or something because they even stole the bed. Wish I'd been in town to see the look on her face that day. She deserved it. I found out I was broken up with when he posted on Reddit asking for help to track down a girl from OkCupid so he could ask her out. He knew she was a Redditor but her inbox was full or something. It got to the front page. I downvoted it. Maybe this story isn't right for this thread. I was dating this guy for about 4 or 5 months and decided to break up with him. We were going for a drive and had parked by the river. I was getting my nerve up when he blurts out, let's get married. I just kinda said, I was gonna break up with you. We had just started discussing the situation. Him whining and me saying, sorry, it's not right for me, when the song She Freaking Hates Me comes on the radio. He looks at me and very seriously says, what? Did you call the station and have them play that for you? He was peeing dead serious and I just busted out laughing. You're giving me the it's not you, it's me routine. I invented it's not you, it's me. If it's anyone, it's me. Alright George, it's you. You are dang right it's me. Look, I was just trying to. I know what you were trying to do. Nobody does it better than me. I'm sure you do it very well. Haha, yes. Well, unfortunately you'll never get the chance to find out. I dated a girl in college for a few weeks. I was frisky and somewhat inattentive. She was a little prudish and shy. She broke up with me over the phone, but as soon as I realized what was going down I stopped listening. After we hung up I called a friend of mine to commiserate. He asked why she broke up with me. I said, without realizing the coincidence. She said I didn't listen to her or something. I don't know. I wasn't really listening. You may call me Harry. This is in high school. I was kinda a douche. GF was breaking up with me, and during it my friend John called. He says that he just got free tickets to the Giants game and that if I want to go he was a block away from her house. I told her, listen, I'm sorry you are going to break up with me but I'm going to go have some fun. The car pulls up with John and 2 attractive, albeit slightly, young ladies. I smugly smile and shrug as I walk away from her house. Getting dumped, like a boss. One of my 13-year-old autistic boy students broke up with his 13-year-old autistic girlfriend. There are 9 students in the class and during free time he wrote her an email. He's learning how to read and write, so it said, IHTEU, IDMPU. Translated, I hate you, I dump you. I thought it was great, right to the point. They broke up because she didn't like Johnny Cash. I thought that was legit. That is always a valid reason for a breakup. This isn't exactly a breakup story, because we were never actually girlfriend-boyfriend. I met this girl at a nightclub, and we had a physical spark, with some similar interests, but not much more than that kind of surface interaction. I told her I wanted to keep things casual, go out together and have some fun, etc. And she said that's what she wanted, too. So after going out a few times together in the course of a month, most of which ended with her spending the night, she called me up the following evening after one of our dates and said she had written a poem for me. I said, oh, that's really sweet. Thank you, and then she started reciting a poem telling me that I am essentially a heartless monster taking advantage of her and viewing her as nothing but a hole to fill. Which, to be fair, was about half of the relationship, but I did like having someone to go to the movies with, too. This went to WTF pretty quickly. Dodge a bullet. I crap you not. This happened to me. I was visiting my now ex-GF. Her and her mother were at work, and her siblings at school, so I was alone in the house when someone knocks on the door. When I open it, 4 guys are looking at me. One of them asks, are you Name's boyfriend? For a moment I was dead scared that these guys were here to mug me for whatever reason, but I nod saying yes. The one of them then said, so are we. As my mind explodes in a whoopfness, I managed to invite them in for a cup of coffee while they explain what's going on. I was told how dude 1 had seen our ex with dude 2 at a party they were all attending. He confronted the other guy the day after, and together they came to the conclusion that if she had 2 BFs, why not more? So they started doing some research, finding 2 other guys and me. A good half an hour after they arrived, the ex came home. From the hall she called hello hun, and as she walked into the kitchen we all replied hi darling. She went blank face, didn't move or say anything for 10 seconds or so, before hurrying off to the bathroom where Seth stayed for 2 hours. When finally she mustered her courage to come out, all 5 of us broke up with her and left. I still talk to one of the other guys from time to time. TLDR. My now ex had 4 other boyfriends I didn't know about until they visited me at her place where we all broke up with her. I think there should be some kind of no-fault breakup ritual where any partner can end the relationship without any explanation at all, so long as you haven't been dating for more than 3 months. It would be culturally expected of you to assume that, while nothing is wrong with either of you, it was not meant to be for reasons which are completely not worth contemplating. The time for executing the ritual is limited to 8 minutes. That's a fantastic idea, but it involves applying rationality to romance. For your information, that's similar to dividing by 0. This is more of a post-breakup story, but still relevant emo. My friend's ex was begging him to take her back after she broke it off a few months before. Paul was resolute, polite, and strong-willed, until finally she went in to kiss him, hoping that her touch would earn him back. Paul allowed the kiss to occur, looked her in the eyes, then turned to the side and threw up all over the floor. She left. I had a guy move across the country, Orlando to Seattle, to be with me, even though I told him it was a bad idea, and he dumped me about a month later, saying that he wasn't feeling it. I thought it was pretty funny. On the plus side, Seattle is a pretty decent place to live, especially compared to Orlando, so maybe it was good for him. I received the exact same breakup speech except with an added bonus of, I just don't want to hurt you again. Who invented all these cliche breakup lines? Hollywood and crappy teen drama from the original Degrassi all the way through to whatever is on these days. My last girlfriend pretty much broke up with me because I wouldn't say I love you. I guess that is a deal breaker, but whatever. I am a machine. At least you didn't say you love cake. Ex-boyfriend went away to college and we tried the distance thing. Well, first he didn't tell me that his ex went to the same college and that they had been getting lunch together regularly. Fine. Didn't care. Then his ex messaged me saying that they were fricking, and when I called him to ask about it he started saying it was my fault for not visiting him. I used his sweatshirt that I still had to mop up cat pee, then mailed it to him. My ex slept with my only female friend in town. Neither of them were sorry despite the fact that I never had a single fight with him until then. Somehow I also managed to get 2 speeding tickets, $300 apiece. Someone stole my bike, and an avocado fell off a tree and onto my face, leaving me with a gnarly black eye. I checked myself into an extended stay because we were living together at the time. Since I was still paying rent on the house and I had randomly booked a ticket across the country to save my sanity and potentially my life from further misfortune, I had to return the house key to my ex. My revenge. I called him to meet me at the coffee house around the corner and James Bond style hid behind some cars and waited for him to leave. Then I proceeded to break into the house, not breaking and entering. I had paid rent for the month, and pour 2 big bags with approx 400 live crickets into his bed. Then I drove around the corner, handed him the key, shut off my phone, and drove to the airport. Somehow he wants to be my friend. 2 years later. Not me but my dad. The way I remember him telling it, his girlfriend told him she was just going to have a night out with the girls, but he had reason to suspect otherwise. So he follows her until she ends up in his fraternity brother's bedroom. My dad waits outside for a long time and then sees them leave together. So my dad slips into the room and sits in a chair facing the door. The guy comes back and is shocked to see him there. Oh hey, how's it going? Dad's name? And my dad goes, I just want to know why. The guy starts stumbling over his words at this point, trying to make excuses and cover up the fact that he'd just banged my dad's girlfriend. So my dad says, you don't know how, you don't know when. It could be tomorrow, it could be next month, it could be years and years from now, but I'm going to get you back. and then he walks out and just forgets about it because he knows that guy is going to be looking over his shoulder for who knows how long. My dad didn't need to worry about it anymore. Needless to say, that girl is not my mom. He did break up with her after that. Without that douchebag frat brother you would not exist. She was manipulative and emotionally abusive to me. It took me a long time to see it, but when I did, it was clear as day. I told her it was over, pulled out my phone, and played the score to Terminator as I slow motion got up and walked out the door. I get the impression it was one of those situations where you imagined it would be really badass, but in the end it was just awkward. If I had a girlfriend I would totally break up with her and it would be awesome. There would be a story too and I'd write about it here. I have a few. There's the guy who broke up with me via text. That one stung. Or, my first ever boyfriend who got his best friend to call me and break up with me for him. Ew. And who can forget the one that followed me around like a puppy, refused to let me pay for anything even when I was clear it was my turn and then randomly dumped me for being clingy and materialistic. I lived with my girlfriend at the time and things weren't going well. I knew we were on the outs and it was only a matter of time before it was over. We argued about something and I had to work early so I went to bed without really resolving anything. She walks in just as I'm nodding off, makes a snide comment as she heads to the bathroom and I unknowingly respond with "This is bulls. Let's break up." I broke up with her and I wasn't even conscious. Oh, I'd post some funny breakup stories but I've used all of mine about 15 times already. Someone take me out then Crowley dump me. I need more material. Just repost him. Reddit doesn't care anymore anyway. When I was in college, I was dating this one chick. Things started getting a little tense after a while and she invited me over to her dorm to talk about where we were going. All the usual insecure girlfriend BS. While we were talking, her roommate came back from going shopping and before seeing me shouted out, "You'll never believe the sexy new bras I just got." After turning into the living room and seeing me she got all red. My girlfriend said she should model them for us. Obviously not one to turn this down. I agreed. Tentatively, she agreed. When she came out my girlfriend got up and started to make out with her roommate. They joined me on the couch shortly after and told me that they both wanted me. They both stripped down themselves and undressed me though we had all had kinky threesome sex for the next hour. You bastard. You had me going until I read your name. I broke up with my boyfriend via Skype. I know that sounds like a dong thing to do, but it was a long distance thing and it seemed like the best way to do it. He got extremely upset and yelled, "Number, you're not breaking up with me. I'm breaking up with you." It was the strangest thing ever. I'm pretty sure he told everyone that he dumped me. My favorite breakup story was back in high school while we were playing soccer at lunchtime. My buddy usually plays as goalkeeper and his girlfriend waved him off the field for a moment to say that she thought that they should break up. His response? "Okay," runs back to the game. I sent her 2 cards. One was a "missing you" with something along the lines inside of "I miss the person I liked," and a "get well soon" card with something along the lines of "cause you have some serious problems" on its inside. That might be what I do after my now ex moves her stuff out. Brilliant. Slow hand clap for an hour. Senior year of high school, I was nearing the end of a 16 or so month relationship. I was just going to wait it out a little bit longer to see if things improved, but she beat me to the punch. One day in April it was raining so practice was cancelled. I drove straight home cause I had to crap. And I mean crap. So I run inside my house, leaving it unlocked and run to my bathroom and begin my poop. Now, I'm a take my time kind of pooper. So, I plug in my headphones, take out my iPod and go to town on some solitaire. About 30 minutes later, I wipe, flush, wash and am on my way out of the bathroom. When I open my door, there she is. My girlfriend is sitting outside the door waiting for me to come out. She had let herself into my house without anyone else there and was waiting outside the bathroom for nearly half an hour while I was pooping. She was crying. She was sobbing. What could I do? She told me she was breaking up with me. I could barely make it out through the sobs. At this point in the relationship, it was more of a relief than a donwa. I had to hide my smile and sense of joy. She ended up staying for almost 2 hours, crying straight through them. It was obnoxious and I stuck it out cause we had spent quite a long time, 4 high school relationships, together. When she left, I called all my friends and we hung out for the first time in a long time. Sorry, I got a little off topic there. TLDR. Drove home from school and left the door unlocked. Went to poop and when I was done she was waiting for me outside the pooper to break it off. She gave me a statue of Buddha. She then said, I think it would be Buddha if we saw other people. I laughed so hard that I forgot I was getting dumped. It's sort of a breakup story, but I got to use one of my favorite lines from Fight Club. I went ahead and put my dong in crazy about a decade ago. Within the first months of seeing each other she was already acting aloof, denying me sex, giving me the silent treatments and generally trying to control my behavior through passive-aggressive bulls rather than talking openly about it. When I called it off she went crazy and pulled a fake suicide routine. I called her bluff straight away because I knew she was crazy, not stupid. Phone rings. Shrevid. Hi, crazy. What do you want? Crazy. I just got a bottle of pills from the doctor. I plan on taking all of them at once and ending it. Shrevid. So you're staying in then? She laughed out loud. Even in my early 20s I figured that was a good sign she wasn't really intending to kill herself. A buddy of mine in HS got down on one knee looking like he was about to propose, searching through his pockets for something. He then gets frantic like he has lost the ring. When she asked what was wrong he said, I have lost my feelings for you, and just walked off. Classy. More butthole why? Not mine, but a friend of mine in high school had the following exchange with his crazy as frick girlfriend while breaking up with her. You're like a stone. Don't you feel anything? Him. Yeah, I do feel something. I feel hungry. I feel like I want some fricking pancakes. I broke up with my ex on April Fool's Day. I didn't plan on it, it just happened that way. People still give me crap about it, but honestly it's not a real holiday. I went out with a girl for a few years in high school. Long story short, she cheated on me and we were having it out over the phone. I said something like, I hope he treats you like crap you nasty hoe, and then heard her phone click like it had gone to speakerphone. I heard guys in the back and guessed that she was with her new guy, so when she said, what did you say? I replied, I said you gave me AIDS you nasty ass. The silence on the end of the line was priceless. I hung up and refused to answer her calls. Never talked to her again. This just happened. I met a girl over Mardi Gras. Met on Friday, kissed during parade, talked all Saturday, met up on Sunday to see if the chemistry was there. It was. Turned to physics. I have teeth marks on my shoulder. I slept over her place after the funky fun and treated her to sushi. Like, way too much sushi. Hey, I like to spoil a girl. She said, well, I owe you a dat dog. Fancy hot dog place. Yes, there are fancy hot dogs. Today, after we've been talking for 2 days, she TXTS me. I don't know how to tell you this, but I'm getting back together with an ex from my hometown. I text back, awesome. Now you owe me 2 dat dogs. We're still friends. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.